understand the NumPy and Pandas for data analysis, okay, and data engineering. So we will first focus on data analysis, and next we will look into the data engineering part. Okay, now what is the difference between data engineering and data analysis is, so you as a person will analyze the data that are given to you. Okay, so what are the tools you will use? You'll use Python tools, okay, inbuilt libraries, and whatever the what is called the visualization tools are there, packages that you will import and you will make use of it. Okay, and what does a data engineer do is, data engineer basically he is responsible for ingesting the data. Okay, now what do you mean by ingesting? Ingesting means connecting or integrating a data from SQL, Postgres, MongoDB, or website, um, or different format. So you have different formats here. Okay, so generally you guys have worked on 2 to 3 formats. One is CSV, TXT, and Excel, right? Or maybe doc. Okay, doc you will have all unclustered data, right? So you have to bring that. So what you'll do is you'll copy each and everything and put it in Excel and make it like a data frame with rows and columns, right? So here what we are talking about is uh, data engineering. Okay, data engineering, I mean, his main job responsibility is to ingest data, okay, transform that data, then yeah, he has to ingest, then he has to clean the data, okay, and then he has to remove anomalies. Okay, we'll talk all these things, what are anomalies and all. Okay, so these are all one someone joined John. Okay, some of these anomalies that we will talk later. Okay, and what and also what are outliers. Okay, I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, very simple baby steps, and you should be able to follow along. Okay, so where were we? Data engineering. Okay, so we have different stages. Okay, analyst, data engineering, and data scientist. Okay, now what is the role of data scientist? Data scientist role is, after the data engineer gives the data, performs all those checks and bounds with the data and give the result, and data scientist is the one who will make the decision with that data whether we have to go with this or not. Okay, he will he will also do some advanced analysis using some complex tools. Okay, so like it's called NIME tool, KNIME. Okay, NIME tool. Okay, he can do, or he can use R for statistics. Okay, R programming. Okay, so there are different tools. Different tools are assigned for different roles. Okay, similarly, don't get confused here. Okay, so we are gonna learn from stage 1 to stage 5. Okay, so coming back to our topics, we have seen these basics, how to import keyword. Okay, what is the import keyword, how it works, how it imports all the packages in your notebook. Okay, in this particular notebook, and then you can make use of it. Okay, so today we'll look at some more examples. Okay, more examples to understand. Okay, so I'll say uh, H3 numpy. Okay, 1 minute. I have to change this cell as markdown. Okay, and then if I run this, it will come in a HTML. Okay, so this is the topic. Now, what are the learning objectives? Okay, you should be able to. I'll write it down. I have written all this thing in a notepad. I'll just copy paste. Okay, to save time. H4. 1 minute. H4. Okay. Learning objectives. Okay. Now, one minute. Let me copy all these points and I'll paste it here. Okay. So next. Okay. It looks good. Now, why there is a acha here one list is there. That is the reason we are getting that bullet dot here. Okay. So you have to one, two, three, four. Hmm. Okay. So what is the learning objective today is NumPy and Pandas. We will get hands-on with these two libraries because these are the libraries often you will use. Any data scientist or engineering, they will use most of them are from these two. Okay. So Pandas also has some visualization libraries. Okay, you can use NumPy. I don't know. I've never heard, but Pandas has. But there are some other exclusively some of the what we called libraries are available apart from pandas, okay, like matplotlib. Okay, these are all the names, don't get confused, these are the names of the libraries that you're gonna use. So what you're gonna do is understand and use NumPy arrays in efficient numerical computation, perform array manipulation. Okay, use pandas for structured manipulation. Okay, I'm not gonna cover unstructured. Later on we'll do. When we play with some raw data, right? There we will see how to bring the unstructured data into a structured format. Okay, so first learning is simple. Okay, then we'll go intermediate learning, selection, filtering, grouping, aggregation in pandas. You do all this thing in excel, right? Filtering, pivot, group by, okay, and then VLOOKUP. Okay, all these things you can do simply, very simple. And you can use simple libraries. Like there are some libraries libraries will help you with writing a SQL query, like simple select star from blah blah blah. Okay, pandas SQL, I think it is pandas SQL. But I have a already created, last time I gave a training, right? So I have those already kept here. SQL ETL. Okay, I have almost like 100 plus notes here. I'll share all these things in a GitHub. Okay, I'm not gonna send everything in WhatsApp. So first create a GitHub account, and then you have to fork my account to your account so that whatever applications or files are there, it will be copied to your this thing, and you can refer whenever you want. And this GitHub is free. Okay, and they give some 15 GB of data, 15 or to 20, I don't know, but it is unlimited. That is what I heard. Sorry guys, I got a call. Okay, So these are the points that we're gonna cover today. Okay, so simple question: what is NumPy? So NumPy is a library, okay, or I can say a fundamental package for numerical computing. So we are dealing with lot of numeric data, right? Qualitative versus quantitative, right? So what is qualitative? All categorical data. Quantitative means where you can count, you get average. If I have a column called gender, male female, can you do quantitative there? Average can you pick up? No, you can just count the you can just count how many are male, how many are female, that's it. But if you have a sales record, you can take a mean, you can also do mode and median, right? So all these things you can do with a click of a few commands. Okay, so who helps that? NumPy is the library, numerical computing library. Okay, so it's a numerical computing in Python. Okay, this is the first point, and second point is also it provides n-dimensional array object. Okay, I'll show you this dimensions. N-dimensional array. Okay, when you say array, okay, when you have a linear, okay, like a scale, okay, you are putting some number 1 comma 2 comma 3 4 5 like that, right? So it supports n means any direction. Okay, you can do diagonal multiplication, you can do but you have two dimensional array object, one with one variable a and b, it has some numbers, you can multiply, you can subtract, you can do all those operations. Okay, so fundamentally, if you know, right, later on you can learn simple. Okay, and it also supports vectorized, supports. Okay, and what is the use of vectorized? Okay, it is for it is for operation for speed and efficiency. Okay, so what is NumPy? Numerical computing in Python, n-dimensional array object, supports vector, and what is the use? It's for speed and efficiency. See, we are not talking about, see here, if you see example, we have 3 rows, right? What if you have 10,000 rows, 20,000 or 1 million records? Okay, so you have to convert that into vectorized, and then you have to do the computation so that it will be performed really very quick, very quick. Okay, so we're gonna see some of the basics today. So what is the keyword that we will use to import any library? Import. Okay, import is the keyword. Import numpy as I'm creating a object. Okay, which is np. You can give any name. This object name you can give whatever you want. Okay, ny, or you can take np or nm, whatever you want to give, but you have to refer the same object name wherever you're calling the functions. Okay, now I'll create a array. Array equals, array is nothing but left hand side whatever you see arr, that is the variable. Okay, some variable I created, and I'm going to store something. I'll say np dot, you should have ar r array. Yeah, first one, function. Okay, this is a function. Whenever we say function, it will have braces. Okay, now I want to declare some numbers here. Okay, how do I declare in array? If you remember list, sets, tuple, dictionary, right? The basic structure, data structure uh, of data, right? You have to use the square bracket. Okay, I'll say 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now I'll run this. I'm storing these values. This is an array. Okay, in a straight line. I'm storing all these things here in a variable called array. Okay, and if I want to print, what I can say print. Print is a function. Inside I need to call this variable called array, and then it will print the results here. Okay, now we'll look at the type. Okay, array types. Okay, how do you check? See, I have a array, this one array. Okay, I know by seeing this variable I can say it is a numeric number. Okay, what if you have a large number in a column, you have a combination of categorical and numeric data, right? So in those cases, how do you find out the commands? Okay, you can say, you can use the function called type. Type will give you the detail about the variable, what type of data type it is storing, ARR. Okay, so it will show here as numpy. Okay, ND array. Okay, n dimension. ND stands for a dimension. N means any dimension. Okay, ND array numpy. Okay, so this is the type command usage, how you can use. Okay, now if I want to see again, uh, there is another way. ARR dot, I'll click on this, 1 minute, dot uh, data type, D type. This is also you can use. See, instance. See, whenever you see right hand side instance, you don't have to put a braces. Okay, I can directly run this. Okay, this will also give the same data type. Okay, integer. You see the difference between type and data type. Okay, these are integer type. These are all integer type data, right? So we are storing in a variable and we are checking what type of variable is integer. Okay, now I want to see how many elements are there, right? How many elements are here? Okay, how do you check? You can say ARR dot dot, again you can press this and see shape is there, SHAPE, shape is there. Okay, and this is also instance, so you can type instance. Okay, 8. If you see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Okay, 8 values are there in my array here. Okay, clear guys till now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Good. Okay, now we will learn about some basics mathematics. Okay, so we will learn about uh, array initialization. Okay, initialization. Okay, so this is just for learning guys. See, you are not going to create any data yet, so you going to work on a ready-made data only. Okay, but it's always good to know the basics. Okay, if your fundamentals are clear with basics, okay, I mean you can go to the next level or expert level. Okay, so I'll say np dot, let me check, it's called zeros. Zeros is the zeros, like zero size non-zeros, I'll use zeros. Okay, let's say. Okay, and inside I want to use 2 comma 3. Okay, 2 comma 3. Let me run this. See, 2 is the first property here is rows, 1 2. Okay, this is zeros. Okay, and second one is the column, 1 2 3. Okay, what if I say 10 by 30? Okay, it will populate my entire screen, I guess. See, okay, using this numpy, right? There are people who has created some games also for mobiles in Python. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so this is one example. Initial array. Okay, now you see how many dimension. This is called n dimension. You can give any dimension data here. Okay, left and right you can see. Okay, if you see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, there is a comma here. Okay, you can see there is a comma. Okay, and then it is continuing. 30. Okay, so to simplify this, give a smaller one. Some I'll give 10. Here I'll give 5. Okay, 5 rows. So that, okay, 5 rows by 10 columns. Okay, and what is this zero? It will initialize zero number here. Okay, all zeros. If you have a number, you can you can write the numbers also here. Okay, this is one. Now there is another one, np dot ones. I think once is also there. Okay, one or once. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, inside this I'll type rows. How many rows I want? 5 comma 8. Okay, let's see. That is zeros. This is ones. These are ones. Okay, these are all for fun, for your practice. Okay, so 5 is 1 2 3 4 5. First property is for rows, second is for columns. Okay, you can make sure you are getting 8 columns here. This is some kind of data. Okay, you can store it on some data. Okay, same thing. If you want to store, what you will do, you can do it temp data. Okay, something temp data. I'll run this. Okay, and then I'll say temp data dot, okay, dot shape. Okay, I want to see the shape. 5 is to 8. See, okay, you can do all these experiment, guys. See, these are all basics. Okay, very basics. And there is one more I learned, np dot I. Okay, so there are different funny names are there. Okay, I'll say 4. Okay, so you can see here what is happening is I, what it will give is 4 is to 4, top 4, top column. But you see there is a data starts with 1 and second here, third and fourth. Okay, diagonal. You see, I function will give you diagonal data. Whenever you need your data to be presented in a diagonal, you can use the I function, and you call your variable there to populate there. Okay, now there is one more, np dot, I think it's called arrange. Uh, arrange, yeah, first one, arrange. It will take, I think, 3 or 2 parameter. Let me start with 0 comma, will give some random 10 comma 2. Okay, now you see it starts from 0. The first point that you see here, it starts from 0. Okay, and it goes till 10, less than 10. And what is the jump it takes after one number is 2. Okay, there is a difference between 2, 2, 2, 2, and it closes here. So arrange will give you a random number. Okay, if you want some 20, okay, So it will go till 18 and it will close. Okay. You need some data for your practice. Okay. You can use the numpy.arrange, give a starting number, last number, and what is this last difference. Okay. If you give three, if you give three, you will see a difference of three numbers between the 0, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Okay, like this, you will create some number for your practice. Actually, I've created one. I'll show you later when we are getting into the practice. Okay, with the actual data. So you can create your own data sitting at home instead of waiting for other data somewhere from the internet, Excel or CSV. You can create your own data using a np.arrange. These are all basics I'm teaching. Okay, there is one more called line space, I guess. 1 minute, let me check in this version it is there or not. Okay, li line space, yeah, it is there. Okay, in the line space again it will take three parameter, 0 comma, I'll take 1 comma 5. Okay, for our example, you can see now what it is doing is first value is 0, second value is 0.25, 0.5, it's all coming in float value. Okay, and it is coming to 1, and zero point 0.5 it is doing a fraction here. So I'm telling numpy is very powerful language, I can say, very powerful. Okay, only thing is basics, if basics are your fundamentals are clear in basics, right, you can do anything. Okay, now we'll do element. See, now what is the element here? Okay, so element is something, say for example this is one element. Okay, you can create another element and then you can do the computational. Okay, so we'll do now some element. Okay, element wise operations. So first example is I'll create a variable called a equals np dot array. Okay, np dot array, and then I'll give some number. Okay, 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, now again I'll copy the same thing. Okay, and I'll put it here. I'll call this as b, a and b, two variables. Okay, now I have 1 2 3. Now I'll take 4 5 6. Okay, now I'll run this. Okay, now all these values are stored in a and b. Okay, respective value. Now we'll do some operations. What are operations like addition, subtraction, and all? Okay, I mean one number you can do, but how do you do as an array? Okay, I can say print. Okay, a plus b. Okay, simple. So you see 4 plus 1 5, 5 plus 2 7, and 6 plus 3 9. Okay, makes sense, guys? You practice all these things. Okay,
Yep, yep.
okay,
Sure.
now I'll do the subtraction. Where is minus? A subtract b. Okay, so this is coming in negative, minus 3, obviously, because the higher number is here. Okay, if I do the reverse one, b minus a? Okay, 3 3 3. Okay, but all positive. Okay, now we'll do multiplication. You have to use this star. Okay, multiplication, run it. So 4 1 ja 4, 5 2 ja 10, and 6 threes are 16 times 3, 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, you can do the division. A divided by syntax error. Okay, the other one, there is other one, this one. Okay. 0.25, 0.4, 0.4. See, you can do all kind of operations, man, that you do. Okay, so I'm telling you, these libraries are very robust. And you see, you will get hands-on only when you practice. Sit on Saturday whenever you are free. Okay, and then practice whatever the elements. Don't use the same thing number. Okay, just copy paste. How do you copy? You have an option here. Just copy to duplicate it. Okay, change the number. Okay, write yourself this entire line. Write it yourself. I'm telling you, you'll not remember. Okay, you will not remember. Now we'll see the another feature called uh, another feature, broadcasting. Okay, now for that, what I'll do is I'll take the same thing. I'll copy it here. Example. Okay, A and B. Okay, now I have 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'll put another square bracket. Okay, so here also I'll do the same thing. But these are see, we will not use all these things, but it is good to know. Okay, okay. So I've saved these two values here. Now I'll do the same operation. I'll say print A plus B, A plus B. Okay, now you see the value 579. Same thing, but in a row. Okay, earlier if you see the same operation, it was in a horizontal line, it is in a row. Okay, so there are different ways. It's called broadcasting. Okay, so you have different options here. One minute, let's see. By mistakenly I've typed. Okay, so this is another one. Okay, so I want you to practice, guys. Okay, until and unless you don't practice, you'll not get anything. Okay, so I have we have one more called what is the called? One more is the reshaping. Yeah, I forgot the name. Reshaping. Reshaping. Okay. Say for example, I have array, a variable. Okay, and I'm saying numpy dot arrange 5. Okay, so what it will do, it will arrange 5 sample numbers. Okay, if you type arr, uh sorry, it's arrange arr, not only one r. Okay, sorry. arrange. Okay, and then I want to print the other one. Okay, so see, it is taking a number randomly. Okay, so even if I run again, okay, 0 1 2 3 4. Okay, now I want to reshape this. Okay, how do I do? ARR dot, I have reshape, reshape, SHAP, reshape. Okay, reshape. What do I want to do? I'll say 2 comma 3. Okay, now it says cannot reshape array of size 50 into 2 by 3. Okay, you cannot do that. It has to be odd. Okay, it has to be, let me do it for 10. This also it's not taking. Reshape 2 comma 3. I'll do one thing, 2 comma 2. Let's see. Cannot reshape array size 10 into shape 2 by 2. What is the 2 is to 5, 5, top 5, top 5. Huh. I think 5 should work. Let me see. Yeah, 5 should work. Okay. If you have a 10 columns, sorry, 10 rows, and you want to reshape it equally, so you can use the reshape command. Okay. And you can tell him how many rows you want and how many columns, 1 2 3 4 5, like this. Okay, if you give 6, that will become odd because you have a data of 10, right? It has to be equally split. That is the reason you have to use carefully this reshape. Okay, and now how much, what is the time? 10:51. Okay, now we'll quickly look at pandas. H2 pandas. Okay, now what is pandas? Okay, so pandas is a library for data analysis and manipulation. Okay, this is the correct definition. Manipulation, library for analysis and manipulation. Okay, so another point, and it provides powerful data frame. Okay, data frame is nothing but when your data is in the form of rows and columns, it is called data frames. Okay, don't get confused. And also it provides series. Series is in a series data structure. Series everybody know, right? Series we covered in data structure. Series data structure. One minute. Keyboard, what I can data structure. Okay, this is one. And another point that I think of is, and this NumPy, sorry, pandas is built on top of NumPy. The library that we learned right just now, it is built on top of it. Okay, not below, top. So pandas, if you ask me, these, I mean, generally they say these two are very powerful libraries. Okay, one minute, I'll change to Markdown and then I'll close this. Okay, these are the points. Now, how do you install pandas? You can install pep install. Okay, but this is already installed, guys. Okay, When you install Python, right, it comes along with that, so you don't have to install. Okay, but I'll put it in hash so that even if you run this, it will not execute anything because it's a hash. Hash is a comment line. Okay, if I remove this, it will take some time, some 10-20 seconds to run all those check and all. It will waste our time. So that's the reason in the code sometimes I'll put hash. Okay. Okay, how do you import? So we'll use a keyword called import pandas as short form. What is the short form I want to use? PD. You can use PS, PA, pan, whatever you want to do, you can use it. Okay, this selection is up to you. Okay, so I ran this, done. Now we will work on series and we'll work on series and data frame. Okay, these are very important. Data frame, FRAM. Okay, so I'll quickly write a simple program. I'll take some variable called s equals, okay, s equals, okay. So what is the object for pandas? PD. I'll use dot tab. Okay, it will give me the drop down. Here I want to use something called data, data frame. 1 minute. I think I have to type D capital. Huh. See, this is, I told you, right? Python is a case sensitive. So data frame is the top. See, you can see it's a class. Okay. So it's a class. Okay. Data frame. And then I will use something called, what is that called? Dictionary data. So first I'll create some name. Okay. Outside I'll come, I'll put a colon and then I'll add my values. Okay, how do you add values? By square bracket. So I want name, two names. I'll take uh, Bob, Lucy. Okay, some name. I'll just put it in. Okay, now I want another variable, another this thing. So I'll put a comma here, then I'll enter here, and then name is there. I'll take another variable, column heading is age. Okay, and then I'll put a colon, square bracket. First age for Bob is, sorry, it's in numeric, so no quotation. Okay, I'll say 25 comma 20 Lucy. Okay, so this is done and let me run this. Okay, so it is done. Now if I print, okay, 1 minute, I'll use this df. Okay, df stands for data frame. Okay, so you can use any name variable. So I am used to use this df, so almost I use everywhere. Okay. So df, enter and run it and you will see the results. Okay, see, it is coming in rows and columns. Okay, data frame. Whenever you have raw data you have to convert, you can use the data frame class to convert those data. Okay, here we are typing manually. What if you have a notepad where you have a data, you have to read that notepad. Okay, so we'll come across one by one use cases. Now we'll talk about the series. Okay, I'll say series equals pd dot series, se, s capital, I guess it is not coming, ser. Series is a class, you see, series, then open close. Okay, now I want to add some numbers here, 10 comma 20 comma 30. Okay, 10 20 30 comma. Okay, I want to add an index for this, index. So the series will take one more property called index. Okay, equals, yeah, index equals, okay, uh, a comma b, sorry, a comma b comma c. Okay, so I have this number. I want to print s. Okay, now you see whatever the index I have added, it will come on the left hand side. Okay, and numbers on the right hand side. Okay, this is how you can use the series. Clear, guys? Yes, no?
Yep. Yes, Sunil.
Okay, please ask me because these are very important. Now we are coming into the core. Now reading data. This is very important. Just pay careful. Okay, reading data. Let someone join 1 minute. Okay, now we will focus on reading data. Now, what do you mean by reading data? Now, what are the formats that you generally see in your work? Okay, CSV, Excel, Doc, and all, right? So generally, where you get your data, with CSV or Excel file, right? So now we learn how to read the Excel file. Okay, so pandas, like I said, you're going to use pandas only. So I will say uh, data, some variable I created equals PD. Okay, dot. Now I'll say this one. I'll say read. One. Okay. Now you see, you have a whole bunch of options here. Okay, what is this clipboard function? Okay. Now I'll show you what is this clipboard function. Okay. Read clipboard. Okay. Now I have this data. Okay. I right clicked on it and where is copy, 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 copy. Okay. Or I can say control C. Control C is copy. Okay. Now the data that I just saved in the memory, right? Clipboard, it will be saved here. If I run this, okay, and if I want to print data, that should come. See, got it? This is the first option, read clipboard. This is very important, guys. See, you have an Excel sheet, you don't want to download, you don't have a access to copy it. Okay, some Google Sheet or Excel, okay, online that you are not allowed to download. What you will do? You will just select the area, copy, and then you will use the read clipboard option and you will bring out the data here. This is one. Simple, right? Now I'll show you one more. Okay, df equals pd dot uh, read. Uh, Now read CSV. Okay, and Excel is also there. So first we'll read the CSV file. Okay, so give me one moment here. I'll copy some CSV file. Okay, in the same location where my Python is working, environment variable for our demo purpose. Okay, but you can read from other location also. If it is on C tools or some other location, you can do that. I'll teach you first basics. Okay, so tools. Let me check if I have some data. I should have data set. Yeah, I have some data. Okay, I have some supermarket sale data. So I'll copy first. Okay, this is some different location. See tools and data set. Okay, this also I'll teach you how to navigate to location. First basic is the location where your Python is running. Where does the Python run by default? It's under user context. Okay, under user folder. If you see your account here, okay, mine is super admin. Okay, this account. Okay, Here you will see. Okay, I'll just paste it here. Okay, so I have pasted it. And what is the name? Supermarket. Right click. Uh, there is rename. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, I'll copy this name. Okay, so super market underscore sales dot csv file. Okay, you have to remember this. Now it is in my root directory where my Python is working. So how do I read this file? I'll just say supermarket dot underscore sales dot csv. Right, that the format is csv. I will read this file now. Okay. If you get any error, that means it is not able to locate that file. Okay, in this case it's a plane in the same location where my Python is instance is running. I have pasted that file there. Okay, now how do I read? I'll say df. Okay, now you will see tabular format. See, all your data is coming. How many columns, rows are there? 1,000 rows and 17 columns. See, this is your Excel file. Okay, so these are all the columns. Invoice ID is there, branch, city, customer, gender, product line. Okay, if you count it, it should come to 70. Okay, clear, guys?
Yeah. Yep.
Any Excel you take.
Yes.
Okay, no need to take this only. You take any Excel.
Hmm.
You can go to Kaggle, download any data set, free data set, and put it in a your user, your profile, whatever name is there in Windows. Okay, you can put it there. And Mac also same thing, under user folder, you can put it down under Mac also. It's the same. Okay, no changes. What if this file is in a different location? Okay, so we'll practice that also now. Basic to basic I'm teaching. Okay, so I'll take a different variable name df1. Okay, that is df, the previous one. So I'll take df1 equals, okay, pandas object dot read read underscore csv. Okay, it's a function. And then here you have to add two quotes, then say c colon slash slash. Okay, and then you yeah, here the difference is instead of backslash you have to type the forward slash. Okay, and then you see your folder starts showing up here. So where is the location? C tools. So let me go to C tools, C tools, C tools. Okay, C tools. Again, I have to put one more tab. Array, what happened? 1 minute, guys. I have to, the cursor should be here. Okay, somewhere the cursor went. Again, tab. Okay, now data set. There is a folder called data. Okay, so see, we have some, yeah, some here, but I'll go to that location. Okay, to demonstrate you data set. Okay, again, I'll say tab. No, no, no. I should have, when my cursor should be pointed here, and then I have to press. Okay, now here see those four files are looking. The file same I copied in a different location. I'm gonna select that one. Okay, and then I'll say run. Okay, if you are getting any error, then you have to troubleshoot. Okay, maybe the location is not correct or file name is not selected or something, you will see. Now I want to check the data df1. Same thing, 1,000 rows by 17 columns, same data set that we copied in from two different locations. This is how you're gonna point to your CSV files. Okay, and you can also, you want to see how many columns are there, what are the name of the columns, you can say df dot colum plus columns. Okay, you can see it will show as the index. Okay, so these are all the column names. What if you want to see only one value here, gender? How do you see that? You can say df. Okay, your basics. You remember, right? Data structure, tuple, sets, list, and dictionary. Okay. Now the data that we see is in an array. Okay. You will use a square bracket, and then you will say gender. Okay. So whatever case you see here, okay, you have to type similar. Okay. If you type G as small, it will throw an error. Okay. Now you see. Okay. It will show first 5 rows and last 5 rows only. Okay. Now you want to see how many bifurcation are there between male and female. Okay. Generally, how do you do in Excel? Anybody want to try? How do you do in Excel? You want to count the male and female strength. How do you do that in Excel? You have two data sets, and how do you do the VLOOKUP? Okay, I'm not good at in Excel, guys. Okay, Ruchika knows. So last week, I think she was helping me with VLOOKUP in office.
Mhm.
I'm not good at this thing. Okay, so you have something called uh, dot sum aggregation function. These are all called aggregation functions. So we have one class separately on that. Okay, so it will give something like this. It doesn't look good. Okay, female, male, and all. So you have to use properly. Okay, some it will like I said. See, these are all categorical data. You cannot do a mathematic manipulation on this, right? You can either count or do that. So that's the reason we used value underscore count, and we were using those data set. Okay. Now what we'll do is how to read up one column data. Okay, one column data. Now if you want to see location, okay, indexing. Okay, this is very important. This you will come across when you are working with live data. So there is a function called LOC, location. Okay, say for example, and it takes a square bracket. Okay, like I said, right, if you brush up your fundamental data structure, tuple, sets, list, and dictionary, why we are using square bracket, why this is the fundamental. Okay, you have a data and you are finding out something. I'll say zero first, location of zero, df location of zero. Okay, it will give me this first record. Okay, how do you know this is the first record? If you go back here, okay, you see I'm capturing through index. Okay, see, this is this command that I'm teaching, right? It is good for small data set. Okay, what if you have 10 million? Do you know which location, who is there? No, right? So I mean, good to know all this. Okay, sometimes it will be very helpful. Location wise, how do you capture the data location wise? Okay, so for example, I want to see the see here I'm seeing only 5 records, and the Python index starts from 0 always. Okay, now I want to see the seventh or eighth variable here, a data set, how it is looking like, whether I have any gibberish data or not. Just just I want to take a look. Okay, what I'll do is I'll say here instead of 0, I'll say 8. Okay, so 8, this is the record. Okay, member female, health and beauty. Okay, unit price is 36, quantity to tax 5% of this. Okay, it's 3.626, total date. All these things are coming now. Okay, for each user, if you want to pick up some user based on the location. Okay, now that was by label. Okay, row by label, this is called row by label. Okay, label by label. I'll show you, I'll put a comment here, row by label. Okay, now I'll use the other one. Okay, df dot there is a ilock. Ilock instance is there. See, you can use this function, and again square bracket. Okay, same, it will also take the numeric number. First I'll type 0. What else? What else? Filtering. Okay, filtering. Okay, so first thing first, I want to see uh, df dot info command. Okay, info command will give you the legend about your data. Okay, we have some concept called data dictionary. Okay, I'll teach you that also in the next. We are just getting into it. Now you see info command will give you the holistic view about your data. Okay, so how many columns you have? You can see total of 7. Just spend basic time line by line. I'm telling you, you'll never forget. Okay, range index. So total rows are 1000 entries. Okay, and it starts from 0 to 999. Okay, all the columns starts from index start from 0 to 999, and data columns means your headings. Okay, which you call in Excel columns. Okay, how many columns? 17. What are those columns here? Okay, and now you see here non-null. What do you mean by non-null? Null means what? Any cell that that is left intentionally blank. Okay, that is called null. If you have, see here you can see the entire data, all rows are thousand. So for each column, so that means there is no missing data. Okay, this is the first thing that you have to look. Info command. Info command will give you the holistic view about your data type, null details, count, and column and rows. Okay, and data types. What are the data types it is using? Okay, So here data types. What is object? Objects means categorical. Okay, or it is a mix of numeric and some letter alphabets. Okay, float. Everybody knows float, right? Decimal points with decimal 3.14, 3.22. Those are float. Integer is absolute numbers like 4, 9, 10, 20, 60. Age of a people. Okay, age of a people 24, 36, 55, 85, like that. Okay, an object is when you have when in see this is a date type, this is a numeric. As per our logic it is a numeric, but in date we add that slash, right, backslash or dash, so that when you add with numeric it will convert into a object. Okay, so these are the basics things that you have to look at. First thing is, first spend some time here. Okay, understand your data type. So this is part of EDA, exploratory data analysis. Okay, now here, so quantity. Okay, now quantity I can see it's a integer. Okay, what if I want to pick up the quantity and average? How do you do that in Excel? You will take average is equal to AVG. You will select that column by 100. You do all that calculation, right? Here, how do you do? You will say DF. Okay, what is the column name? Quantity. 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 Okay, I'm taking only this uh, column. I'll use the function called uh, I'll use mean, average. Everybody knows what is mean, mode, median. Anyway, we have a class, okay, on statistics. Don't get overwhelmed, okay, with all these things, but you will be using all these things. Okay, quantity is not defined. What does that mean? Quantity is not defined. Okay, always we have to put in a quotes, guys. I keep forgetting this. Quotes. Okay, now it should work. Okay, so 5.51 is your average quantity. Okay, like that you can do analysis, take a screenshot. Okay, and then you can present it to your leadership, put it in Excel, sorry, PPT, and do. Okay, now what is the say for example invoice branch. See, branch, city is there. I want to find out what are the cities are there and the count of the cities. How I can do? I'll say DF bracket city, C capital, right? City. Okay, and I'll use a function called, why this drop down is not coming, man? I hate typing the command. Okay, value counts. Okay, you will get a bifurcation. Okay, Yangon, there is one city called Yangon. There are 340 entries. Okay, Mandalay 332. Okay. I want with uh, city, branch and city. City wise, I want to see the bifurcation. So I'll type it here. City. Okay. I'm doing a two value count for two variables, two columns. See, bifurcation. Just a simple one line code. Okay, this is for 1,000 records, guys. In office, I was working with almost like 1 2 million records. It took just 8 seconds to pull up the report. You know the limitation with Excel, right? It will not take more than 1 million rows. Okay, it will fail or it will hang your PC. Okay, so that is not the viable solution to use Excel, Microsoft, or Google Excel, Google Sheets. There is a limitation with rows. You just Google it, you'll get it. If you add more, it will hang your system. It will the operation. So this is all basics, guys. Okay, I'm not doing anything new here. These are all basic. These are all part of next topic, but I thought I'll show you. Okay, so you can add three columns, comma, another columns. Okay, basic. Yesterday basics we try to read two columns, one column data. Then we are adding value counts. Okay, filtering option, group by. Okay, we have lot of other things. VLOOKUP is there, pivot is there. Okay, a df dot pivot, df dot pivot. Okay, missing one required key argument columns. Okay, you have to pass on one column here inside. So I'll give city. Okay, something I'll give for understanding city. So takes one positional argument, but two were given. Two were given. Df dot city. So maybe it is in non minute, guys. City is not defined. Okay, I can do the other way around also. Series object has no attribute pivot. Okay, this is a series data, right? So I'll find out, guys. This one I tried long back, but I'll figure it out. Okay, when we get into the manipulation of data, right? I'll create all those examples so that you can use it with your real-time data. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, what is the time? 11:29. We are top of the hour, and I'm gonna send this file today. Okay, just basics, guys. Okay, I want just practice it, otherwise you'll lose that hands-on. I'm telling you, you will not, even if I move with next topics and all, right, you'll not understand anything here. So my suggestion is, please go through it, please go through it. Okay, so what is the file? Importing libraries. Okay, so 1 minute, I will send it right away. Otherwise I'll forget it. Okay, next week, guys, please create your GitHub and Kaggle account. Okay, with your Gmail. Just keep it ready. I'll tell you what is the how you're gonna use that. So we'll have one GitHub session also. Just half an hour is enough.
Sure.
Okay, it's like a file repository, guys. Okay, generally in if you have an external hard disk that you buy it USB-C type or A type, right? What you do is you will create a folder, my photos, family photos. Okay, and then you will categorize that, right? uh, Folders, and then you will put all the required data. Similar, GitHub is also similar, but it is more for a development developer community. Okay, with keeping all the files, and you can use you can create your what is that called also free of cost for GitHub. Okay, you don't have to pay outside. If you want to go, you have to pay, okay, some nominal amount for a year, like 2 3 thousand for a year, not month, year. Okay, here it is free of cost. You can use directly from GitHub. So that's the reason if you see a lot of companies are using GitHub Copilot and all that. Okay, so you should be knowing that, guys. Okay, make use of that and spend some time. Okay, otherwise you will not get anything, I'm telling you. Okay, Python importing library, 1 minute. Python. Okay, okay, and also I'll give you some practice session. Okay, in NumPy, only in NumPy. Okay, please do it on weekend. Okay, so I have written in a notepad, simple one. Even if you Google it, you'll get it, but I want you to try. Okay, practice exercise. Same thing, create a 4 into matrix from a value of 0 to 15. Same thing I showed you in the sheet. Okay, I want you to try. Same thing. All this question, generate a random matrix and calculate its mean, dot mean. Okay, second one you leave it, standard deviation and all. Okay, second one you leave it. Create a array and replace a value greater than 10. Okay, try this. If you can try this, okay, you will get some learning. Perform matrix multiplication into 3 into 3 matrix, which we did. So 3 into 3, you have to add one more number here. Okay, here comma 4 5 6 is there, no, 7 8 9. You have to create and then you do a manipulation. Okay, or different variables. For example, this one. See, A and B is there. You add C, 7 8 9, another array, and 3 into 3, you do the multiplication. Okay, so this is pretty easy, guys. Please practice, and I've already shared. And again, I'm collating everything and putting in GitHub. So from there, if you can fork my account there, you can pick all the resources, practice, Python files, and other things there, PPT and everything. And that also will show you how to do that. But next week, please do it. Okay. If you don't do it, then you will not have it in your laptop, right? So there is a tendency you might lose it. So you can go directly to the this thing and you can do it. Okay. So please